Hey guys, it's Charlie here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to color, shade, and render your own Pokemon that you're making. By the end of this video, you'll be able to make something close to this. I know a lot of people struggle with the shading part of making Fakemon, and to be honest, I love shading, and I think my style's pretty close to the official style. And before we start, don't forget to subscribe because I have a lot more Fakemon videos planned. And if you want to be part of a huge Fakemon collab region, go ahead and join the server in the description. Can't wait to see you there. So what I do to make my own original Fakemon is I draw them on paper first and then upload them to my computer and draw over them. But that shouldn't matter, we're going to use Dupiter to draw over and shade and do everything to it. So I've gone ahead and gotten Dupiter in my drawing program of choice. I use Krita because it's free and it's on computer, but this tutorial should work on anything. It should work on drawing tablets or computer or whatever you're going to use. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trace over this Dupiter, and we're going to make a conversion form. I'll be back when I'm done the line art. Alright, so I finished up the line art here. Now I need to do the colors. So I'm going to get rid of the background layer, duplicate the outline, and you always have to change the name of your layers. If you don't do that, what is wrong with you? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download Cerulege's art. And I've opened it up here in Krita with my Spoopiter. And usually with my Pokemon designs, I usually just rip the colors from existing Pokemon designs so it looks as official as possible. So for the, let's see, I think I'll do this kind of color. That would be cool. I might darken it. But yeah, I think that looks pretty cool. Maybe, yep, I like this. So once you're done tinkering around with the colors and you're happy with all the colors you have on it, I added a bit of a gradient here for the fire, and then we can get onto the shading, which is probably the most important part of the video. Probably the reason why you clicked on this, so let's get right into it. Alright, so the way that I do my shading is I make a new layer. I'm going to call it Shadows 1 because we're going to have multiple shadows layers. That is how this works. And the opacity depends on the design. I'd say last stages usually have more higher opacity. First stages usually have lower, but usually I do around 20. And the blending mode, you can do normal if you're doing black or whatever, but I do multiply. And then I'm going to go to blue around here, blue. And I am going to set it to nearly black, but like navy, and then we'll have the shadows like this, and I think that is the closest you can get to the Pokemon style, in my opinion. So usually you'd go over where the shadows will be. I'm just using a normal brush, and then we have this tool here. I don't know what it's called. It's called an eraser soft. Okay, gotcha. So a soft eraser, and then you want to go over it like this, so it's kind of blending in like that. As you can see, that looks better already. This isn't, this isn't final, by the way. I'm just showing you how to shade like I do it. And then I'm gonna set the opacity to 50%, and then I'd say 60. No, I'll do the 50 like that. And then to blend it like the official style, we're gonna go. You can do it again if you want, but I'm going to go like that. And as you can see, it has those blend lines like that. If it's too sharp, you can do it again. And boom! You can see that already looks sort of official anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this. And I'm going to use Dupiter's official art to reference it. And we're going to go over it like this. You can slow the video down if you want from here, but I'm going to quickly go over all of the spots where there's shadows. There we go. So once you have what you want, I might do this part down here as well, but we can also make as many shadow layers as you want. I'm going to make shadows 2. We're going to do the same thing. Multiply. I might set this one to 15. Maybe 18. There we go. And I'll be back once I'm done all the shading on the design. Alright, I think that's good for the shadows. Now we need to get onto the highlights, because I used to not be a big fan of highlights, but highlights really bring out the Pokemon style. You do really need highlights, and bright highlights at that. If you have not really visible highlights, it kind of messes it up a bit. It doesn't look too Pokemon, so I'm going to go with maybe 15 for this. I could brighten it up. No, I think 15 is good. Maybe like 18. I'll go with 18. And we're gonna once again go over the parts where I think the highlights should be. We're gonna have a highlight here. And one big recommendation is to make it like messy. The messier it is, the more Pokemon I feel like it feels. If you just have a straight line like this, it doesn't feel as Pokemon. So you want to make it as messy as possible. And then you're going to do the exact same thing you did with the shading. You're going to blend it like that. Blend it like this. And the same here. You're gonna make it feel messy. You go in a bit. And then change it to a 50 opacity and do the same blending technique. And up here. And if it feels too much, you can always reduce the opacity like that. There we go. So I think that is pretty good for the highlights and the shadows. Now we need to work on the fire rendering. I have gotten pretty good at fire rendering, I think myself. I made these a couple weeks ago, couple months ago, I can't really remember. So we can make another new layer. We're going to name this Fire Highlights 1. And I'll set it to 25, maybe 30 opacity. We'll see later. I'll test it here. Yeah, we'll go with 25. And now, for fire, the most important thing I believe is the gradient. That really brings out that fire aspect of it. Alright, I think that's pretty good. One more thing before we finish this design. I think it really helps with the Pokemon style. We're going to make another highlights layer. I'm going to call this highlights 3. Maybe make it a bit brighter. We'll go with 33. And we want to use this brush. I don't know what it's called. Airbrush Soft. Yeah, we'll go with that. And small enough size. And then you go to one of your highlights, you go to the middle. And you go like that. Little dot like that. And we're going to bring out the eraser soft. I don't know the words of these brushes, man. We're going to make it blend a little bit like that. So it's just like a little highlight like there. And then we can do that on all of the highlights as well. We'll do it here. We'll do it here as well. And then blend it a bit more. Like this. And then boom. Might change the opacity down. We'll go at 20. And then I'll make these a bit less. And I think that looks better already. So this is the final design of the video. I hope you can make something close to this now with the techniques I've showed you. Anyway, that is all I have to say for now. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Join the Discord server for a collab region. And see ya!